Mom and kids are abandoned by dad when she finds something amazing in her back seat. At some point or another, we all experience a crisis. You may not have gone through anything major yet, but someday you will. There's nobody who goes through their entire life without falling on some tough times. When you do find yourself struggling for some reason or another, you need support. This is why humans have an instinctual need to surround themselves with people they love. When you're in trouble, you can turn to those closest to you in your life. There are times when even strangers or pets can completely turn a serious issue into something you can handle thanks to a little bit of help. Fortunately, it's not very common for a father to walk out on his wife and children. Sadly, though, it does happen occasionally. This is the story about an idiot who abandons his wife to raise 6 kids alone 3 months later, and she finds the unimaginable in the back seat of her car. A mother on her own. In September 1960, a mother woke up to find that her 6 children were very hungry. She had only $1 in her pocket. She didn't have the help from the children's father because he left her and disappeared without a trace. She no longer had his income and the kids were hungry. Her 5 boys were between the ages of 3 months old and 7 years old. Her only daughter was 4 at the time while the mother was struggling financially. She thought that maybe it was a blessing that the father was gone. He wasn't a good man when he was around. The entire family lived in fear of him. When the children would hear his car pulled into the driveway, the children would often hide under their beds while he was not nice to his family. He did bring home money so the family could buy food when he decided to walk out on his family. The fear the children felt disappeared. Unfortunately, the food disappeared as well. No support services. Back then, the welfare system was not what it was today. If it did exist, and the mother could get help, she didn't know anything about it. Also, she was too proud to ask someone for help. This was her family and it was up to her to figure something out. This meant finding a job on her own. The mother got dressed up and she made sure her children also looked nice. She piled the family in her old 1951 Chevrolet and went off in search of a job. If she could find work, she could feed her children. The family went to just about every factory and restaurant in town so the mother could apply for jobs. Sadly though, she had no success. She didn't take her job hunt lightly though. While her children sat in the car and stayed silent, their mother went to speak to the managers of these establishments trying to convince them that she was willing to learn how to do anything. She told them that she needed a chance to prove herself. Unfortunately, she kept being told that there were just no job openings available. The very last place she tried was an old restaurant located a few miles outside of town. It was converted into a long-distance cafe and it was called Big Wheel. The woman who owned the place was old and people knew her as grandmother. When the woman and her children arrived at Big Wheel, grandmother looked out at her car. She was suspicious at first but was willing to hear the mother out. After hearing the sad story, grandmother told the mother that she needed someone to cover the night shift. The hours would be from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. and the pay was $5.50 an hour. Now it's pretty good money back then. Best of all, grandmother told her that she needed somebody to start immediately. The mother knew that she needed the job and she also knew her children needed to sleep during those hours. She went home immediately and called a teenager who lived on her since this girl had babysat for them before she trusted her. The agreement was that the teen could sleep on her couch and she would be paid $18 per night as long as she put the children to bed. The mother couldn't believe her luck. She found both a job and child care. The mother went in for her first shift at the Big Wheel. When she got home, she gave the babysitter a salary and sent her home. Unfortunately, the $18 turned out to be half of what the mother earned since she had to pay the babysitter and she had to work. She did the best she could. When winter approached, the cost to heat the home increased. That meant living on the edge of their means. Unfortunately, the tires on the old Chevrolet were very old. The mother would need to refill the tires before and after work just to make sure she got home. Strange gifts. One autumn night the mother left work and there were 4 brand new tires in the back seat. There was no note or card, just the tires. The mother went to a local garage and offered to clean the office in exchange for them mounting the new tires. The manager agreed and the mother couldn't believe her luck. She wondered if there were real angels living in the city. When winter rolled around, the mother started to work 6 days instead of 5. She knew Christmas was coming and her kids needed gifts. She had old toys in the basement and she fixed them up and painted them. Unfortunately, she still had problems though her kids were wearing throw.